Welcome back. This is the final video, phase 4 of the 72 Commando build, resto modded by Tweaker Garage. We agreed early on we weren't going to do all the rust repair. The thing wasn't in that bad a shape, but there were a couple spots that definitely needed attention, and one of them was the front fender had a huge hole down in the rocker panel. So I cut up some existing metal. We had a cover for the fuel catch can that was in the back that we're no longer using, and made ourselves a nice little patch panel, and that welded up pretty nice. So we were always going to paint some trim on this thing, give it a little pop, and when the time came, we welded up all the holes, body worked them, primed and painted them, and then we distressed the paint to make it look like it had been there from day one. And I'll tell you, even the most discerning eye can't tell the difference. It pulled off the look pretty good. We're pretty pleased with the results. The rockers were pretty beat up on this thing, so we picked up some sliders from Next Venture Motorsports. The fit and finish was real nice on them. We just had to fit for the side dump exhaust, countersink the holes. We used stainless steel hardware throughout, and they mounted up really nice. It'll provide the protection he needs when he's off beating on the rocks. So if you have an old Jeep, you know the lighting flat sucks on these things. So we replaced a lot of the bulbs with LED bulbs inside and out. We used Rampage housings, it's a glass headlight housing, and put LED bulbs there along with some KC daylight LED driving lights. And those things flat throw some light. We really like the old school look that they provide for the old Commando. This guy won't have any problem seeing where he's going at night. We flat have some lumens going on. Out back, we put in some Genrite LED reverse lights, as well as a third brake light and license plate light with their license plate holder. That's all from, once again, Genrite. And speaking of license plates, Keith spent some time looking for a custom plate. Not a lot was available for a Commando, but we finally settled on Bad C104. Now we just need California to arrest some people and get those guys building license plates again. We've been waiting forever. I think I talked about this in a previous video, but we used a Retro Sounds deck in this old dash. It really looks the part. It's got full Bluetooth and pre-outs for all your different speakers and whatnot. We have a 500 watt Kenwood amplifier driving a 10-inch subwoofer along with some kicker surrounds. The stereo sounds really neat. And then we also dressed it up with a wood steering wheel and some nice door panels that just kind of give it some nice detail there. I'm sure Keith's wife was tired of my phone calls. Hey, you know what we should do next? When it came to the carpet kit, we had ordered a nice kit. These things aren't cheap, but right off the bat we had a problem. So I needed to have a little editorial comment here. There's two major suppliers for these things, and our first carpet kit fit like crap, straight up. There's just major gaps everywhere and not much edge banding. And when we contacted them to deal with it, they wanted nothing to do with it. But they did end up taking the return. So we got a second kit from Parts Dude out of the Tahoe area. And Sam up there is the most helpful, knowledgeable guy there is. So if you ever are restoring one of these things, he's got all the parts the rest of them do. So I would totally encourage you to contact Parts Dude and let him help you out with your build. Anyway, we got a real nice kit from them. Plenty of excess so we could get it cut to fit. We made some new sliders for the seats. Got those installed. Installed 5-port harnesses for the front seats, and eventually the rears will get the same. But the interior actually finished out really nice on this thing. So I waited as long as I could. I did not want to cut up this body, but for the height that we wanted and the size of the tires we wanted, it was inevitable. So we drove it up on the ramp, we stretched it out, and we went to town clearing the fenders to make sure these tires would fit. We're probably going to have to come back and trim a little more, but we're really trying to retain the look, the style of this old dog. We really like the way it looks. So finally we had to do some fine tuning on one of our mods. We had installed a bottle cap relocation device a while back, and it just wasn't working as consistently as it should. So we went and did some testing and some modifications to see if we could clean it up a little bit. After hours and hours of work and modifications, we just weren't having any luck. So we sat down and we got the design consultation team together, and we talked about what we should do moving forward. And we decided to go back to the basics. We checked the torque specs on the device. That seemed to be the ticket. Well, that about wraps up the build. Our next video will be coming to you from Sand Hollow, where we put this thing through the paces. Thanks for watching and have a great day.